We were both like,
Be nice. Like when you tell your dog, be nice, grab it nice. I also have to figure out a way to like use that as part of like the intro for this.
no,
one.
I was laughing because we were both like shaking and then
Well,
trying
I
not to
always
like
shake, man.
Me too,
Bro.
but we're also like not trying to.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So we're just like,
I used to be worried that I had Parkinson's for the longest fucking time. Cause like growing up, like I'm older. A lot of y'all don't know that. I'm actually a lot older than a lot of people think I am, but it is what it is on that. But when I was growing up, Michael J. Fox was like big in movies and stuff like that. And then obviously Muhammad Ali, he had Parkinson's for a while. And when I was like a teenager, that's when Michael J. Fox came out and said he had Parkinson's. And then for me, not knowing anything about it, my hands always shake. You know, it just means I'm not going to be a good doctor. It doesn't mean I'm sick. But as a kid, bro, I was worried.
that's what I fucking tell people whenever I had to bring them their coupe glasses or anything like that that's in a coupe martini glass.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, can you help me out here? Pass it over to them. I have really shaky hands.
I used to do that for a long time.
They were like, oh, yeah, okay, thanks. I'm like, yeah, it's the reason why I'm not a surgeon. Always get a kick out of it. I always tell them that shit, and they always love that shit.
No, it's true, man. It's true. Because I've said it on the show before, like when I have to hand out 2 coupes, I'm always like, the further it gets from my hand, the more it shakes.
And it's not heavy. It's just because there's like that much space in between, and you're just like, any
little bit.
Yeah.
And especially with the way our ice is right now is our ice isn't like blocking up correctly. So it's almost a little chippy. So sometimes it can be a little bit more dilution than you want to a cocktail. So you have to make sure you don't overshake and everything. And you've seen me, like when I bartend, I just kind of go for it. And my wash lines are always really good, but every once in a while, you never know. It might be a little bit too much in there or something like that. And you got to hand someone a shaky glass with fucking liquid going everywhere.
grab it, please. And they're just kind of like waiting,
Yeah.
watching you put it down, and then have that judgmental look of like, you spilled a little bit of my cocktail.
Yeah. I didn't mean to. You
saw me fucking
My fault.
shaking.
I'll put it in a regular glass next time. I had somebody order 4 lemon drop martinis from me on Saturday.
Wait, can I do the intro?
Nah, because I got to finish the story. Then
Okay.
you could do the intro. I literally had someone order 4 lemon drop martinis in the middle of the rush, and I made them, and then they drank them within like a minute. And I was like, bruh, this is the one time you could have told me to put it in a regular glass. I would have felt so much better just putting those in like some rocks glasses or something like that if you were just going to down them. For me to rim 4 coupe glasses and then make the cocktails and garnish them the right way and everything, and you're going to treat them like shots? Just tell me they were shots, bro. I would have made them shots.
People don't realize how much time goes into rimming.
Yo, so much thought and preparation goes into a good rim job. You have no idea. Now you can do the intro.
I knew what I was doing when I said it. I'm like, let me bait this motherfucker into doing it.
This motherfucker alley-ooped it.
I did. I just did the D.
Oh, shit.
I did the D Wade and LeBron. I just threw it up.
Bruh,
and you came in just. That's the poster right there.
There you go.
Oh man, I knew what I was doing.
We should do a poster with you throwing up like a joke and then me like fucking trying to come in with it. That'd be fucking funny.
We'll do it. I'll do it. I'll get on it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the podcast where we pull back the curtain and give you some insight.
We can't go back.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the podcast where we pull.
And we like to call that the industry perspective.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the podcast where we pull back the curtain and give you some insight of what goes on behind the scenes of a favorite bar and restaurant. We like to call that the industry perspective.
There you go. You had to use a jigger on that one.
I did.
You were like trying to free pour it. Like, nah, that don't look right.
God damn it.
Oh man, what's up, motherfuckers? So hopefully everyone's doing good, man. Hopefully you're doing good. We don't see each other as much as people think we do, even though we live in the same house. It's kind of funny, but that's that industry life for you. How was your week, bro?
It was good. Not slow, but just, starting to get back up there and everything like that. The weather kind of killed business. For those that don't live in LA, we've had the last almost 5 days now of
Yeah.
nonstop
Yeah.
rain, drizzle, and just like a cold front, and that really put a damper on business and making money.
Yeah.
So people just don't want to, especially LA people. Like there's
Yeah.
like a good 4 to 5 degree of like breathing room where people are like, okay, this is fine. If
Yeah.
you go a couple below that or above that, people are like, I can't do this.
I'm not gonna lie.
It
I'm
was
starting
like,
to become one of those people.
really,
But it depends on what it is I have to do. That's all.
because it was like 44 or something like that and raining.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's whatever, I born in that shit.
Yeah.
But to people that are been here for a while or have lived here, they're like, fuck, dude, I'm fucking freezing my ass off. And to be fair, it was cold because when I clocked out like on Friday, Saturday, I don't know what day it was. It was pouring rain, not pouring rain, but it was raining enough. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna walk home. Got an umbrella that somebody left at work, so I borrowed it, and we'll
Mhm.
continue to borrow it until I lose it or break it. No, I didn't steal it. I'm borrowing it. So I'm walking home, and I'm like, damn, my backpack's wet, and I'm still getting wet. So I'm like, fuck it, I might as well just scooter home.
Mhm.
Oh man, that was a bad decision. If you run in the rain, you will get wetter. That I
Mhm.
knew, but I'm like, I just want to get home. It's
Yeah.
gonna get colder, whatever. So I'm scooting.
Yo, I did that today too, man. Hands is freezing, man.
Fucking freezing. Like
Yeah.
I'm fine, but like my hands were cold. I'm just, I need to get home so I
Yeah.
can change and don't get sick. I walked in through the door. I looked like I just took a shower. Pants was wet. Everything was wet. I was like walking to my room.
Fucking
and
making
shit.
macaroni sounds, homie.
I
Damn.
was fucking drenched. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was a ghost town when I left work because usually there's people walking their dogs and shit,
Oh,
but it was just
yeah.
like it was dead. Nobody wanted to come out.
Yeah.
And we were, for the last 2 hours we were there, we were pretty fucking slow. Like people were there in the building, but nobody was drinking too much, or no more people were coming in, so it was kind of boring. So my coworkers started doing cleaning, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just take care of the bar.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like cleaning. I wasn't very motivated that day, but work had to get done. But yeah, it was a fucking ghost town outside, at least in the area that I was working in.
Yeah.
And yeah, people just
This was like Friday or something, right?
yeah, I think it was
And
Friday.
it was a ghost town everywhere from what I heard on Friday.
Yeah,
I think everyone saved it for Saturday.
because the rain got progressively heavy. By the time I go home, it started pouring a lot harder.
Yeah.
So it just got it's the weather played a big factor. So
Yeah. But
It
you didn't
sucks.
work Saturday, right?
Nah.
Okay. So I ended up working Saturday, but not Friday. And I was one of those people who on Friday had plans, bought a ticket to go somewhere, and walked downstairs and was like, nah, bruh, this ain't it. And I just came back up. So I was one of those people that, you can blame me for not making any money Friday because I didn't go out, man. But on Saturday, I had to work. And I expected Saturday to be the same as Friday because of the fact that no one went out Friday, or basically no one went out. And we were actually kind of busy. I mean, it was still manageable and everything, but we were still pretty busy. And then the last hour, 45 minutes, bro, I don't know what it was. I've never seen our bar that busy. Like since
Really?
the year that I've worked there, I've never seen it that busy. Where we were running out of glass, where we had like 50 to 70 people all show up at the same time. Not in one group. It was several groups. And this is at a point where we were all thinking about cleaning up and like cutting a bartender. We had already broken down one of the wells.
Oh,
we were
shit.
doing a slow close, you know what I'm saying? Because it was almost the last hour. So, for those of you out there, like with a slow close is when you're looking at like how he said, like it was pretty slow and everything like that. And it's like, all right, well, we can't cut you, or we don't want to cut you because either we're scared that we're going to get hit, which is what happened to us, or it's one of those things of like, well, we don't want to cut you because there's only like an hour left. Or an hour and a half left, you might as well say, but just do a slow close and everything so we still make it worth your while. That's what we thought we were doing with the one bartender breaking down a well. And next thing you know, it turned into the exact opposite. And we got our shit pushed in hard, bro. Hard. And nothing hurts more than getting your shit pushed in and not making money for it. There were so many zeros on those fucking checks, bro. So many zeros. And nothing against anyone in particular. I'm just gonna be real. It was mostly the same type of broke ass people that you see show up the last hour at a place where it's just like, I'm trying to get fucked up really quick, but I'm not going to acknowledge the fact that you're working. So I'm not going to tip you. Fuck you. We all hate you. That's why when some people come up and ask for a drink and we're like, nah, we're already done. And you're like, come on, let me get another one. It's like,
No.
nah, because people like that are the ones who don't tip us, and then they make us feel like we wasted our time.
Yeah.
And then the other side was the other half of the people who came. Well, not half, because there were some people who were tipping. I don't want to, what do you say, get into hyperbole and just act like it was just everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a good portion of the people who were there, and they were foreign. So to them, there is no tip.
Right.
But they would order like a drink and drink it within like 2-3 minutes, and then order another one. And you're still working that hard, and you're not making any money, and it's your last hour of work, and you thought you were getting ready to start slow closing and getting out comfortably. This is the only job I've seen that has something like that.
It really sucks when you're like, you're in that mindset of like, all right, I'm gonna close and go home, but then you got to jump right back into work mode. You're like, fuck. It just, for me, it just creates this frustration of like, fuck these people. Like, yeah, at the core of it is good that we're gonna make some money. Hopefully, not in your case, that wasn't the case.
Oh.
You're just like, fuck, man. I was already in the mindset of like going home, eating, whatever. Like, your whole mood, mindset, mentality, everything shifts. And for me, I thought it was like, oh, I'm just being lazy, but it's like, no, I already mentally checked out.
Right.
I'm done for the day.
Right.
I want to go home
start
now.
slowing down, it's hard to.
You get a rush of people demanding shit from me. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of my face. Let me go home. And I thought that was bad, but like, no, it's just your mind shifts, and it sucks that you have to like, fuck, get back into work mode and do it with an attitude. And sometimes I feel bad. It's like, dude, I'm being a dick to these people, and I don't mean it.
Right.
Like, I don't mean to be an asshole, but like, it's like, I don't know. It's like fucking trying to take a nap or going to sleep and being woken up in the middle of the night when you were having good sleep. And you're like, dude, I can't fall back asleep now. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to get back into it.
I have a good friend.
I feel bad about that.
I have a good friend who's actually had that. Like, he's done that. Like, he's a known napper. He's just like you. That motherfucker will nap. Nah. This is my brother Google. He will like start a nap or whatever, and like if you interrupt his nap or something like that, he will go off on you. But I will say, as we've gotten older, we're both in our late 30s, and well, he's in his mid 30s now. But the last time that happened, he was like actually visiting me, and I was playing with his daughter, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna take a nap. I was like, bro, I got you, man. I haven't seen my niece in 2 years, so I'm just excited to play, right? And so my niece is just like him, but also just like me, which means she's gonna get fucking loud. And you put two of us in a room, like, it was insane. He's like trying to go to sleep. He wakes up, he's like, I was trying to sleep, but da da da. And then he's like, hey man, I didn't mean it like that, but y'all woke me up. And I was like, yo, you know what, bro? I understand, man. We woke you up. Like, we get it. To me, I look at it like, if you're getting in that mode of I'm getting ready to go home, or I'm going home early or something like that, and then all of a sudden you get a bunch of people come in, I look at it like, you think you're about to go home, like you really got to take a shit, and then like you get to your apartment and all of a sudden the elevator don't work. Like, I mean, I'm gonna climb these stairs, but I'm just gonna hope for the best, and so should you. What I mean? That's how it feels. But obviously it's not like that, but it feels like that because you were ready to go home, man.
You were really mentally clocked out.
And it's also rough, like when you're dealing with all of that, and then you get the type of people who want to be all up in your face and act like the night is all about them, and like want to record everything. And I get it. Even though I may not know your situation when you're coming out, I don't care. Meaning, like, whatever your situation is, your situation. Come out and have a good time. That's what I'm here for, to help provide that good time. But if I didn't ask to be a star of your show, don't try to make me one. Don't pull your phone out and have it all up in my face, especially with your fucking light on.
Fucking flash?
Yo.
Oh, God.
Like, what is the point of that? You don't need the flash on. There's enough light up in here. And if you can't see everything I'm doing, that's even better for me. You want to record me, that's fine. But don't have your camera in my face or have the flash on in a dimly lit room and I'm trying to work. you know, it's just like like a cop. You know, cop comes up to you and they got the fucking flashlight in your face.
You're
It
just
makes
like,
it
"Oh,
harder for you to
shit."
do your job. Like it's hard to concentrate, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I would rather people that were gonna record just be like, low key about it. Don't
Right.
don't let me see or know that you're recording, or at least don't make it obvious. Because
I
now
don't
it's
even
like
mind the obvious. I just
I
don't
do.
like the flashlight.
I mind the obvious because it's like,
Mm.
oh shit, now I gotta make sure I don't. Then I get nervous because I'm like, oh fuck,
Right.
now I don't. If I fumble something, I'm on camera, and
Right.
I'm just like, just be low key about it. Like keep it right here, and if I can see, like, all right, cool, you're recording. But if you're like a soccer mom, like on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m., just like, here you go, honey, you got this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, come on, man, don't
Yeah,
put it in my
back that
fucking
up,
face.
man.
Like, yo, chill, keep it low key, whatever. And sometimes in the back of my mind, I'm like, I could just be a dick and be like, hey, don't record me, and just make it a problem, but I don't want to
Especially
do
in
that.
this state. In California, it's illegal to record someone without their consent.
Yeah.
Yet no one seems to pay attention to that at all.
Mhm.
I said that to someone when I first moved out here because they were recording me like that. And they looked at me like they had never heard that before. And I was like, bruh, I didn't ask you to record me. And you didn't ask to record me. Get your camera out my fucking face, man. I don't need that. I literally had someone the other day, they asked for, a couple of drinks and everything. And not even in the process of making them. I had just got started making these drinks. Like I'm still pouring and everything, which means I'm still doing the math and having to remember every single cocktail that they asked me for. When you tell me your order, okay, that's like a receipt I got to keep in my head. Yeah. But anyway, fast forwarding, they pull their camera out and the flash is on and it's right in my face. And this motherfucker said, give me a show. I literally stopped what I was doing. I was like, give you a what? And they're like, give me a show. And I looked at her. I was like, so I have a show if you want one of my cards. No, I'm kidding, man.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
You can check out my channel, man. I'm giving you a show every week.
Mm-hmm.
But like coming up in my face with the camera on and all of that. And her friend even told her, was like, yo, like, could you at least turn the flash off?
Yeah.
Like it's in his face. And she's like, no, I want to record this. And I just wouldn't make the drinks. And she finally like got the hint. She's like, well, what's your problem? I'm like, bro, there's no problem other than you having your fucking flashlight in my eyes while I'm trying to work.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be rude, but you kind of have to at that point.
And sometimes it could be they just caught you at a bad moment or whatever.
Oh no, she was
like,
being an asshole. There's no good moment for that.
There you go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on that, but like she was bad.
And on the flip side of that for me is I don't mind putting on a show for somebody if they kindly do it like the right way. Like, oh hey, is it cool if I record this? I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'll do a little something that I can do, little fancy things, whatever, fancy pours, whatever, to do two mixing glasses at the same time with one hand, like something like that, make people be like, oh shit, I don't mind if you do it politely, but if you're just like something in that instance, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, which is exactly how I felt. Like you didn't ask me for anything. Rude. And on top of it, when your friend is trying to tell you, hey, not only are you being rude, you're hindering him from doing the job that you just asked him to do. For their response to be like, oh no, well, I want to record it. Like, come on, man.
So what you said is like, there's enough light that they don't need the flash, but because most places are dimly lit to where we can see our measurements and everything and what we're doing, but you add a flash in front of us and they're like, oh shit, like what the fuck? Like I can't see.
You're being blinded
now.
Man.
Yeah, it's just like fucking deer in the headlights. It's like, dude, I can't fucking see what I'm pouring. What? How much is that? Like it just, you said, it hinders the job. There's enough light in there for us to do our job and for you to record, but not too much where it'll overpower the flash from your phone. So don't do that.
And you don't need the flash on your phone to record everything. If you want to, and it's the social media culture of I need to show everyone what I'm doing. That's all well and good, man. Especially us being public figures now. It's like I get the need to feel like you want to share everything, but do it the right way. So if you're trying to record another person while they're trying to do their job, take the fucking flash off. If you're trying to record your plate of food or something you're doing or take a photo of yourself, turn your flash on. I'm all for you using the flash in the appropriate moments. It doesn't need to be in our faces when we're trying to do the job.
You can also change the exposure too. That's all you got to do is
if
like
you got a nice enough phone.
You hold the screen
Yeah.
and the little slider pops up, and you just move your finger up and down,
Yeah.
changes the exposure, so you don't even need the flash. So even low
Yeah,
light,
ain't nobody thinking of that when they're at the bar though.
no, they're not.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah, that's one of the things I've definitely noticed.
you can definitely
And
do it.
people don't want to think ahead about the thing that they're asking you to do or the action that they're taking on you as far as like being rude or something like that. And then they expect you to still keep the same energy the entire time. And it's not that I'm not trying to keep the same energy, but you keep punching me in the face, eventually I'm gonna fucking check my jaw, you know what I mean? So if you're being an asshole to me or you're making my job harder, don't expect me to smile in your face and act like you're my favorite person at the bar. You may be your favorite person at the bar, but you're my least favorite. And maybe you might not be my least favorite overall. Maybe sometimes our interaction was just bad. Like you
Yeah.
said, maybe they caught you at the wrong time.
Mhm.
Or
They just came up with bad,
or said
bad
something
energy.
the wrong way, or like maybe it was a miscommunication. Happens all the time, man.
But people also sometimes you can tell right away when they sit down and just their demeanor, how they're carrying themselves, that this is not going to be a good interaction.
Yes.
You can feel that energy, that vibe from them. You're kind of like, hey, what can I get you? And they're just like, whatever, or some.
Hey, how you
shit.
doing? Vodka soda, Jack and Coke.
I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah. You were saying though, like
no, like sometimes, like we've said many times before in previous episodes, where we got to give that presentation to everybody the same way. So we approach every guest, despite what the last interaction was. Like, hey, how's it going? What brings you in? You know, hey, here's what can I get you? You know, this and that, and you come in with just like like you come in with that negative energy. It's like, dude, this isn't gonna go well, and I can tell. I'm gonna try to make the best of it, but I already know you're gonna make my job as difficult as possible. And you're gonna give me a hard time, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah,
and that's not my fault. We just didn't connect. We didn't pass the vibe check.
Right, you didn't.
Yeah, and it's not me. I'm not the bad guy. I came here with 5-star service, and your energy and everything brought it down to 2. So that was your doing, because we're supposed to bring that 5-star service every time.
Right. It's not my job to make your day. It's my job to attempt to make your day better.
Yeah.
If you're having bad day energy and you bring that to the bar, you bring that to a restaurant or wherever, you're going to keep that same bad day energy, and you're going to, fucking sprinkle that shit around the room. And then you're going to think that people don't like you. And it's like, yeah, well, we don't. But maybe it's not personal. You're just being an asshole that day. Bring the energy that you want.
Those people that just sit down and without even a hello.
Yeah.
Like vodka soda.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, hi, how are you? My name is so-and-so. I saw a TikTok about that. And then it was like the girl comes in. She's like, oh, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And then the person screams her order like, oh, okay, well, I'm blah. Oh, no, actually, it's one of our friends. She told me about this story, how she came to a table and she brought them their waters. And before she said anything, they're like, what was it? They're like, Blue Moon. And she's like, okay, well, my name is so-and-so. I'll be taking care of you. And then proceeds to, like, is your name Blue Moon or some shit like that? And it's like, you can't. It comes back to the whole we're not your servants thing at the basis of it. It's like, come on, man, we're fucking people.
Yeah.
We're not these automatons, these little fucking robot servers that you see now in some of these cafes and shit like that. No, you can't just.
Which I thought they were going to take over a lot faster than they have so far. They're a little behind the curve. When I first started hearing about the robots, I thought we were done, bro. I really did.
No. I think we still got at least another 20 years or so.
Yeah, we'll be out of it. We'll be out the game by then.
More. They can't crack that many good jokes.
No, they can't. No, they can't. But I will piggyback off of what you were saying as far as the people just bringing in that shitty energy. And coming in, sitting on Blue Moon and everything like that. But I will lump them in with the people who come in and they think that they're a better bartender than you or a better server than you, or because they used to do it or they still do it or whatever. And then when they come into your venue, have the audacity to try to critique what you're doing, critiquing how you serve, critiquing how you make your drinks and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, they think they're going to get the last word. And it's like, nah, motherfucker, I'm giving you the last word, motherfucker.
Speaking the last word.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm going to lump them in with those people,
Oh man.
like you've had that happen recently, right?
Yeah.
Like motherfuckers like really came in and tried to act like they didn't like your cocktails.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible. The petty in me doesn't want to be, but
Yeah.
for the sake of, you know, being civil here. So
Yeah.
I made a cocktail for this particular person who, let's just say he's a regular. I made him many cocktails before, never been a complaint, this and that, even complimented how great my cocktail was. Same one, same as before, measurements every single time. But on this particular night, because of some events that had transpired, again, not getting into detail.
Hold on. I wanna break for one thing.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
For those of you watching on YouTube, what we're gonna do is while you tell this story, we're gonna come up with some like artistic ways to like kind of show the story, maybe like some gifs or some shit like that, right? While you're
Okay.
telling the story. The reason why we're gonna do this is because we did so many tests on the audio that the laptop is very low on power, and I don't know if we're gonna get through the whole episode.
Oh
And
shit.
this is the perfect time to do it.
We'll get your charger.
Well, I'm gonna do it, but I'm saying during the story because for the people who are watching this, eventually it's gonna turn into like a series of what the fuck, and I just want to know. I want people to know it's not gonna last that long, maybe a minute, which is what I always say. Carry on.
Okay. Oh god, I'm so low on camera. All right. So, anyways, this particular night, he came into the bar and asked for the cocktail that I've made him many times before, and served it to him. But due to, you're just gonna block me on the camera.
This is not gonna be seen. Remember, I said all of it. I'm just making random noise.
Oh, no,
I'm talking while I do this.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Wait. Well, why don't you just cut this out?
Oh, because this would have worked better.
Why don't you
And
just?
then you stepped on it.
Why don't? Wait. No. Why don't you put like the photo of like the cat that's hanging in there? It's like resolving technical issues.
I can still do that. Like, you're stepping over your entire story because I could have done this during the story. And all
That's
of this
fine.
is staying in, by the way. So I want you to know.
Just put the picture. It's like hang in there, kitty, or some shit like that. As all this audio is still going. Like the Eric Andre show.
We finally get the audio fixed, and then we run out of juice,
Oh,
and then you stepped
shit.
all over my joke. Anyway,
All right, so
I'm back, like I never left. Are you gonna finish the story?
Yes. So because of certain events that transpired with him and another individual that happened to be at the bar as well.
Yeah, it's because he didn't get any. I don't work there. I can be petty as fuck. He don't work there. Or even if he does, I don't know if he does. Point is, he ain't get none. He was salty about it.
He was.
Good old salty McNuggets.
He was. And for some reason, he decided to make me his target of his frustration for his own wrongdoings. There's other things that I didn't include. Let's just say he made a dummy move, and this person was just like, fuck him. He fucked up. And he decided to take it on me. So he said that I made his cocktail incorrectly. It was too bitter or whatever, but I've made it the same way I made it from before, the way I make it at home. The measurements are exact across the board, never been a problem. So I was just like, you're just hating. Like you're really just hating, and you don't bartend, so you don't fucking know. Now, granted, he asked for the cocktail specific way, which was the way I've always known to make them, the way I learned to make them. I didn't, to my knowledge, I wasn't aware that the original way was with a different spirit. I was like, oh, okay. So maybe that's what started
Which is partially my fault. It's partially my fault.
Yeah, but you know what? It's better. It's better with mezcal, anyways.
It is.
It is.
It is.
I know.
There are cocktails out there that have been around for a long time, but once they're introduced to like a different base spirit, tastes so much better.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially tastes better to the person having it. You know. So just a little segue on that.
But yeah, he just decided to just
segue, sir.
As I took a drink. But yeah, he decided to make me his target, and I was just I laughed about it because a couple hours later, these other guests came in and I made them an old fashioned, and they asked for it a specific way, and I made it, and they're like, this is the best fucking old fashioned I've ever had. This was amazing. So it was just, it was kind of funny because I've had people tell me like, oh, it was a little sour or it was a little tart, whatever. I'm like, okay, I can work with like an actual critique, something that like, okay, maybe a little bit less of this. But when you're just saying, nah, I just didn't like it, it was trash. When I made you the same thing, it's like, dude, you're mad at me for no reason. You're being petty, but your petty has no sustenance.
Yeah.
It's just weightless.
Honestly, he just needs to go to the doctor, get his blood pressure checked, because I think his sodium levels are a little high. He's way too salty, bro. You need to get that checked out.
I've also
that can lead to hypertension. Whole bunch of other things, my friend.
I've also had somebody was commenting on the amount of foam that was in a beer that I poured him.
Oh.
Now, it was a stout, but it was a nitro stout. And I may be paraphrasing here a little bit, so correct me if I'm wrong. But most beers are, when they're poured, the gas that goes in is carbon, like carbonation. That's why you get the bubbles and everything like that. But with stouts such as Guinness, they don't do it that way. So they use nitro, like nitrous, right?
Yeah. I mean, paraphrasing.
So the way I'm
not going to act like I know. I
so
mean, I kind of know, but you know what I mean.
Is a hard pour.
Yeah.
So that's why you see all the Guinness stouts have like that sharp funnel, because they put the glass directly underneath and pour it, because it needs to be like that. So that way you get all the foam that comes up, and then it eventually like fizzles into the beer. You'll usually
especially if you have glassware that is etched properly to help with that cascade effect.
Yes.
To help open up the beer. Yeah.
And when that happens, it takes a minute for all to settle in to finally get the final product. And then usually for me, I let it sit before I present it. But at this point, it was a little busy, so I had to just get the beer out. And a lot of, I want to say experts, but a good beer pour usually has about an inch of head, which is the foam. So like you take this from your first bend, last bend right here to the middle bend of your index finger. That's about an inch roughly. So that's like a good measuring point. Depends
on who you ask.
That's a good pour. That's how much head you want.
You notice I didn't jump on the obvious one. All you out there, you thought I was going to jump on the obvious joke because it was right fucking there. Nah. So, I'm classier than that.
So this particular stout that I poured him was a blonde. So I gave it to him. This is what he asked for. And as I brung him up, he's like, that's all foam. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the kind of beer it is. It's a blonde stout. Like it's got to settle. He's like, nah, man, that's all foam right there. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be like that. It'll settle up and it'll be a regular beer or whatever. I assume that's what his thought process was. He's like, are you sure?
Yeah, he thought you gave him a glass of foam, basically.
Yeah, and he's like, are you sure? I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not sure. I've only been pouring this beer for the last couple of months. You know what? This is actually kind of fucking weird. This has never happened before. Thank you for being the first person to point that out. And thank you for making it obvious that I never caught that. I never got that observation. Like, holy shit, this is not how... Get the fuck out of my face. Sign this fucking shit and go. Get the fuck out of here.
I will say one thing though.
Am I sure?
Is when if you think that the person who's serving you is being so fucking lost that it's like it doesn't make sense how lost they are, that they would give you a glass of foam. Here's this adult that brought you a glass of foam. If like you set your mind up to think that, and the person says no, trust me, it just needs to settle. At that point, just leave it, because it's like, all right, I'm telling you verbally, yes, it's supposed to look like that right now. It will settle. It'll look the way it's supposed to look. Just trust me. That's also me giving you a verbal contract of like, if it doesn't do that, you now get to rub it in my face. That's what people don't wait for anymore. They want to rub it in your face immediately to try to tell you how wrong you are. It's like, nah, just wait. Because if you waited, now I wouldn't be talking about you on my show.
The kicker is he asked
if
if we had any stouts.
Right.
So when I presented him with
Right.
one, he was like, "What the fuck is this? It's what you asked for, dude. Do you not like stouts? You just told me you like stouts and asked if we have it."
Yeah. That is the person who likes the one particular stout or the handful that they know at the few bars they go to. So
that one drink
they,
that one time at
Yeah.
that one bar that one
Yeah.
bartender made for
or
them.
I know Guinness and Guinness doesn't look like that. Like that, those people, bro,
It blows my fucking
nothing
mind.
stays the same forever, man. Even beer changes, you know.
Dude, beer definitely has been changing a lot.
I can't
too.
keep up with beer.
Me either.
I cannot keep up with beer and ciders and all of that. I can't keep up with them, man.
It's a lot.
I'm too old to care, bro.
It
So
is a
many.
lot.
There's so fucking many.
Yeah.
It's insane. We gotta go to some of the breweries like in our area, especially like closer to where you work.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta start talking to some of those beer tenders over there and get one of them on, because that's a whole other world that like I don't have, and I'd love to have them talk about it.
I went to one that was by my job on my break, and I asked for I think it was like a malty kind of beer or whatever. And I just thought about like that regular glass thing, because the glass he presented me with almost looked like a flute, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah. And obviously, I wasn't in that mindset of like I wanted a fucking pint. And I'm like,
Right.
it's in that glass for a reason. But I was just like, huh, I've never seen this glass, a beer being poured in this glass before.
I wish you would have took a picture of that so I could see it, man. I wish I could see that shit. I've never seen a beer in a
It
flute.
looked like a very like thicker, longer flute, basically. It was really, really weird. It looked like
a BBC of beer. Like, what the fuck? Like, I just need this to be a little bigger and thicker, all right?
It's funny because it was
ain't enough head on this for me.
It was a dark beer, so that makes it.
I knew that. You didn't have to say that part. I knew what kind of beer it was. Obviously, it was a dark beer.
BBC of beer.
Oh, shit. God, I hope we don't get canceled for that one.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just funny because like beer tenders, you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And if they present you a beer in this glass, it's for a fucking reason.
Yes.
So don't question it.
Yeah.
If they present you something, it's because they know.
Yeah.
Now, if they tell you, hey, it's gonna do this, or it's supposed to be like this, you take it back and it doesn't do what they said it did, then go back and be like, hey, this is like, it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we fuck up. Sometimes it's at the bottom of the keg, and all you really are getting is just foam. It happens, but
we can be wrong.
Yeah,
don't get it twisted. We're talking shit here, but we can be
if
wrong.
we say like, hey, it's supposed to be like this, don't be like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I was doing this for the last 4 hours before you got here. When I clocked in, yeah, I'm pretty sure I poured 20 more of these before you. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's the only time you've ever heard a man say, I don't want this head to last as long. Speaking of head at the bar.
What? Wait, no. What do you mean?
That is how I'm choosing to jump from that last one to this one. We didn't talk about most of these before we got on because I wanted.
Speaking of head at the bar, I got a funny story for you.
I wish. Oh man. Well, how about no? I haven't. No, I haven't seen head at the bar.
Oh man.
Yeah, I wanted to like bring this up to see if you've noticed this, and just for everybody else out there, if it's something that you've noticed as men, men only on this. When you are sitting at a bar or standing at a bar, whatever, or wherever you are, but just for this at a bar, and you're minding your own business, and all of a sudden you just get slapped in the face by someone's hair because for some reason, someone told women in the last few years, all you got to do this hair flip to get your hair going around or whatever. There's no behind the ear anyway. It's like the only way I can get these 4 strands of hair that are next to my cheekbones behind my head is to do this tresemme fucking flip. You know what I mean? Like, why? When you're in a confined space, you're not out at the beach fucking putting on sunglasses and shit. Like, you don't need to do all of that. But I'm seeing it so much. And I counted on Saturday 24 hair flips, I remember. Not all by the same person. And there was one guy, literally, he looked like that kid in that one Vine back in the day where he's standing there holding the cup and he's just like looking over. He was sitting, he like just taking a sip from his drink. He was looking at his phone. And this woman straight up like, boom, not even like kind of hit him. It was like full frontal,
just
across his face, full frontal across the face, hair slap. And he's just standing there. He's like, the fuck? And she was just like high off her shit, you know, just having a good time, as she should be. Not judging her, but why was a hair flip necessary? And the guy she was with was like 4 feet away from her. So why were you hair flipping that far back? Control your hair flips. Like why are you slapping everybody at the bar with your fucking hair? We didn't ask for that shit. Control your hair, bro. Like if you're gonna be drunk, yo, every bar needs feminine energy. I will fucking die on that hill. Like if it's a bar full of sausage, I don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Like you need women at the bar, not just because you need women there because like, oh, someone needs to be trying to take something home.
Well, I mean,
you just need that other half to like balance out the room.
Unless you're in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Then you want
depending on where you are.
Depending on where you are.
I'm just saying, like,
we got some people there looking, watching this, like, no. I actually want some.
Yeah, I get that too. I'm just saying, like, I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, you need women at the bar because men need someone to fucking harass and shit. Like, no, fuck that. I'm just saying, like, you need both sides at the bar. I don't want one of anything. I want gay, straight, lesbian, men, women, trans, anything you fucking identify as. As I said, if you identify as a toaster, you are welcome at my bar. I don't give a fuck.
Just don't wash your hands.
Yeah.
That seemed a little dark. My bad. Choose the thoughts.
I was just saying,
my bad.
I was just saying, like, but if you're gonna be at the bar, like, I've just seen too much of this lately, where like you get these women at the bar who are just there at the bar to be eye candy, and they're just there to get as drunk as they can and be, oh my god, every 5 fucking seconds, and it's like, okay, I don't need that energy at the bar. You can take that to a fucking nightclub where nobody there is over the age of 28, and if they are, everyone's like, why the fuck are you here? Take that there. Don't take it to like a bar or a restaurant. Like, read your room, that's all, you know, and just stop slapping everybody with your fucking hair, man.
Yeah,
like, that shit's over the top.
We don't need to know if it's L'Oreal or Tresemme in our fucking drink. We don't need
Pantene,
that.
Like, I don't care what it is. Like,
yeah, I don't want it in my drink.
Yeah,
that's happened. I think that's happened to everybody. It's happened to me before, and you're kind of just like, and me, like I'm already like a jittery person. That happens. I like flinch hard. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and it's not like the person who hit you with their hair knows they hit you with their hair. Like,
and I'm not gonna be like, hey, bitch, you just. I'm not gonna do that. But like, goddamn,
me, I
some sense of
what
awareness.
I think should be but this is a joke. I gotta preface this. But it should be okay if I get slapped in the face with someone's hair and they're just whipping their fucking hair around, I should be able to kick them in the back of the knees because it's not going to hurt. If you fall, you fall. That's on you. Now we're both dealing with some shit. Sequel. Don't slap me in the fucking face with your hair and you're dipping your fucking curls into my cocktail and shit. Like, I don't need all of that. You're violating my space. You do it. Just not a kick to the knee like just Sparta, like, just like a, you know how when you walk up behind somebody and they're like standing stiff, you just get them like, bah,
and they go, yeah, for sure.
Like, that should be it. I would like to institute that, man. You see a lot of this hair flipping and all this crazy shit at the bar, like going like down. I think we should institute a lot more like fun shit at the bar to curb the amount of anger and animosity and just stupid shit that we see. Like, when someone's being dumb, we should be able to just squirt them with fucking like spray bottle like a cat. Hey, behave.
I like it. I like actually like that. I actually really like that.
I've heard of it, but this was way back in the day. Like, there's too many rules and laws nowadays. But
this is completely off topic. But you ever seen those places and restaurants and stuff where the employees are allowed to be rude?
Yeah.
Oh,
I fucking love them. Chicago moment. You should go watch that episode. That was a great episode. Featuring the legendary Sandbar. Shout out to Sandbar, man.
Shout out to him. It was
Love
good
you,
to see him
man.
again.
Glad to see you back at the shoe, baby, too.
But I've always wanted to work in one of those places. I know we spoke about that before, but I've always wanted to be able to just work bartend there and just, you know, and people fully expect that. And it's, God, it would be great to just let some of that. I think that's one of those environments where like it's fun. Like it may not be like a squirt bottle, but people go there knowing what they're gonna get. So you give them that, and while you may mean some of it, they're just like, it's part of the act. It's like, man, bitch, I ain't acting. I meant this, dumbass.
Well, bars used to have personality back in the day, man. Now everything's about trying to make money and not offend everybody.
Everything now is about being this fucking prestigious, like, what can I get you, sir?
Cookie cutter.
Oh my God.
Like
excellent choice.
Yeah.
Oh, what's our top shelf fucking, well, sir, it would be like, bro, I don't fucking know. Look at the menu and tell me which one you like. Like that's the kind of bartending I like. I don't want to be like,
not just bartending, serving too.
Excellent choice, sir. Here you go. Let me just, and what, man, that's,
I will.
A lot of places out here I've seen do that a lot.
Not just here.
Everywhere.
Not just here. Like every city, every state has one, man. Everybody has it. I don't know when this happened, but at some point it turned into the service industry. It's the guest is always right kind of thing. It got taken so far where it's like, well, we got to make it an experience for the guests and the guests and the guests and the guests. And it's like, yeah, but I'm here every fucking day, bro. Every day. How about you make it nice for me to work here? And I make it nice for the guests to come in. Because guess what? That's what guests want. Yeah. They don't always want the cookie cutter shit. They want to, I make as much money at a place where I get to be myself than at any place I've worked at in the past where I had to follow a script and be told what I had to do and what I had to learn and all these different things. Like, not just sitting there saying like, oh, because of where I work now is like so great, I'm fucking kissing their ass. I'd talk shit if I had shit to talk. And they know that about me. You know what I mean? Like the highest compliment I've gotten at work, it was one of my coworkers was telling a story about this guest who was like just being really, really bad. I told you this story. And when they were retelling the story to one of our coworkers, they were like, well, I was being nice and they were being nice. Nando was just being himself, but he was still being nice for him. And I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disrespect anybody, but at the same time, I'm not going to stand for disrespect either. I feel like every place should have that. Well, not every place. I think that the majority of places, maybe 80%, need to go back to, hey, this is the experience we're trying to give to our guests. This is why we want you to come back here. Because if every place does everything the same, there's no reason for anyone to go anywhere. Yeah. And if you are dealing with people who are creatures of habit, they're just going to pick the one that they like the most and go there. You know?
To backtrack a little bit, backtrack a little bit, a lot actually.
A little bit, a lot. I like that.
A little bit,
That's
a lot.
Good one. No,
so a lot good. Of to go back to where how bars are saying like creating like this whole the guest is always right thing, and to backtrack to previous episodes where we talked about how certain bars not letting the bartenders drink. Like, okay, you want to take that away, but we've also worked at a place where we weren't allowed to swear or was very frowned upon. Like, don't let the manager hear you swearing. Like, dude, now you're taking away my personality, allowing me to talk shit. I swear a lot. I can't help it. It's like fucking breathing for me. Like I just did it right there. I didn't even realize I just used an F-bomb. Like it just like I can't talk shit. I can't be myself. Like dude, like that fucking like that takes away almost all of the fun of bartending. Like I can't just shoot the shit now when people, and I'm pretty sure almost everybody that goes and sits at the bar wants to be able to shoot the shit with the bartender. They want to hear their unfiltered, you know, whatever. And even in the places that I have worked at where that was kind of frowned upon, I still did it because I can't help it. I just cannot portray this fucking Alfred Pennyworth fucking person that's like, yes, sir, excellent choice. I can't do that. I can't fucking do that. I am me. I am who I am. I'm going to talk my shit. You ask for my opinion, you're going to get it.
Right.
May not get like the full version because like I still want
Right,
the
right,
tip. But
which is also to say when you were talking earlier about how okay, yeah, I don't think about when I curse, is because you're not thinking about what you're saying in a sense of like, yeah, you measure your words where you're not being offensive. You don't
yeah,
curse every other word, but there are places, as you said, the place we worked at is like if you said one thing, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe you cursed in front of this adult.
yeah,
And it's okay. They got gray hair. If they're still having a problem with me cursing, I honestly don't know how they made it this far. If me cursing is gonna kill them, I don't know how they made it. I think they'll be okay.
shit. If they got gray hair, they've heard a lot worse.
Yeah, exactly. So, for those out there who want to be like, well, I don't want to hear that language, I get that. And it's on us to understand where the line is. I've worked with people who toe the line. I've worked with people who tiptoe the line. I much prefer the people who tiptoe the line. I really, really do. Yeah, they know how to do the job the right way, and the guest keeps coming back because they enjoy those people. But they also give that guest and their coworkers something to think about, something to laugh about, like a reason to keep coming to work, a reason when they look at their schedule and they're like, oh shit, I'm working with such and such. Oh fuck, I can't wait to work with them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Don't take that out of your venue. Don't try to cater to the cufflink crowd if you're not a cufflink venue. Stop trying to think about what your bottom line is. Everyone's trying to make more money, more money. We need money. We got to pay our fucking bills. But you don't want to become a slave to the job. You don't want to become a slave to the paycheck. We have friends who work in places that they fucking hate, but they can't leave because the money's so good. And it's like an abusive relationship, bro. They're not going to treat you any better. They just going to keep beating your ass, man. And I don't mean to make light of it. I'm just saying that's really how it feels, because when you get out of working in a place like that just uses you up and spits you out, and you get out early and you see friends that are still there and they're like, yeah, I'm making money, but yeah, how much are you spending with your coping mechanisms by going out to drink all the time or doing whatever else you need to do to recoup? You're blowing that money. You could make like 10%, 20% less and just be happy, bro. Or that venue could do better.
We have a mutual friend that works at a place that she's listening now. You better fucking quit already if you haven't already.
She ain't going nowhere.
Fucking leave.
She ain't going nowhere.
But
that dick is too good. She keeps looking at that paycheck. Oh, man, I guess I'll give them another week to change their ways.
But at that same place, I've seen people that I worked with there that have finally left it that seem much happier now because they don't have to deal with that shit. So, yeah, I mean, if you can't be yourself, man,
if you can't be yourself, who the fuck are you? Like, for real.
I can't do it.
We've given way too many jobs the power over what we do when we're off the clock. Like, that shit's got to stop. I will say that's one thing your generation and the generation behind you is doing really fucking good about it. Is like, nah, bro, if I don't want to fucking do that shit, I'm not gonna fucking do it. My generation was like, yes sir, maybe.
There's this
like,
there's this term, I forget what it's called, and I want to make this quick so we can get to the other things we gotta talk about. There was this TikTok about like, oh, when the millennial is the manager and shit, and a lot of people in the comment section, I don't want to talk about the video, but like the millennial was like, that's the manager was very, instead of treating them like fucking employee numbers, treating them like people, whereas like 10 years ago, maybe 5-10 years ago, it was stigmatized to be on your phone, whatever, this and that. Now there's this shift of like, a lot of managers don't really give a fuck. If you get the work done, you get the work done. And this person was like, here's an example, like, hey buddy, like, seeing her on the phone a lot, like, if you need some time, whatever, you want to go take 5 or 10, it's cool, whatever, resolve what you got to resolve, but just make sure you're good and just come back and get back to work or whatever. It's like treating the employees like humans. I think it's called something compliance. There's not spiteful compliance. It's
if you can think of it, like,
I want to know what it is, but it's something compliance. Whereas, like,
if you think of it after, let me know and I'll edit it in post. I'll put it up there, like what the word is.
And it's basically where, like, yeah, that's the manager.
Yeah.
And even though they have to do the job that's given to them, they're gonna do it to like just like the bare minimum where they don't get fired and nobody gets in trouble. So
Yeah.
like if for instance, like I had managers where they were like, it's cool if I don't care if you're on your phone, as long as you get the job done, whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool. I don't care what corporate says. But if like the district manager comes in like, just play ball until they leave.
Mhm.
Just play ball, like that's it. As long as I don't get in trouble, we're good.
Yeah.
And I really, really admire that, how like the culture of work is changing now, where it's not just like you're just an employee number, like you're people now.
Mm-hmm.
And I love seeing that stuff pop up on my For You page because it's really cool. It's like, yeah, that change has been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's obviously a different industry as far as like retail and
Well,
stuff.
not just retail.
Well,
I see it. I see it in, you know, well, one thing that happens when, yeah, you've been in this industry as long as I have, but also are as old as I am. A lot of my managers are around my age, which used to be like this stigmatized thing. For me, it's like, yeah, I could be a manager if I wanted to be somewhere, but that's not what I'm good at. You know, we have the show and other things that we're doing. Like, please stop trying to make people feel like because they haven't done what you think they've done by the age you think they should have done it, that they're a fucking failure.
That's malicious compliance.
There it is.
That's what it's called.
There it is.
Malicious compliance.
Ding, ding, ding.
Also known as malicious obedience is the behavior of strictly following the orders of a superior despite knowing that the compliance with the orders will have an unintended or negative result.
Yeah.
So like you're just doing it because you're told to do it, but like, you don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like, okay, whatever.
You're doing it because you don't want to get punished.
Yeah.
Like getting spanked.
Malicious
you're like,
compliance.
well, I'll do the right thing, not because I want to, because I don't want to get my ass beat.
Yeah. And
you know?
That's what a lot of now, because like my generation, like millennials and shit, we're the managers at the stores and this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just malicious.
Well, you're
compliance.
starting to become the managers. My generation is managers.
It depends on
like, the managers
depends
now.
on where you're working, whatever. But a lot
depending on where you're at.
A lot of places now, like the fucking T-Mobile or a retail store or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
That's
no,
you
the
see
manager curve there is a lot lower for sure. I'm just saying, like with service industry, usually they're around.
Service industry is a little bit older.
Yeah,
for sure.
because that's when we give up. We're like, all right, I guess I'll be a manager then. Like, my dreams didn't work out. I guess I'll be a manager. You know what I mean? But one of the things I wanted to say was like, what I've noticed with some of the best managers I've worked with is, yeah, I'll be your friend and I'll be your manager at the same time, but don't make me be your manager first.
Yeah.
Because don't make me put you in your place to remind you, yeah, I'm being your friend, but I'm your friend not second. I'm your friend as well, but we have a job to do.
Don't make me do my job, basically. As a manager, don't make me do my
your job. Don't make me do mine.
Yeah.
Meaning, well, not just meaning, but one of the byproducts of that is when you have to ask a manager to do your job to help you, they will help you so fucking fast if you make their job easy, if you have a good manager. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of motherfuckers will abuse that, and like we're not giving any love to them. But when you have a good manager and you have a good working relationship with them, like nurture that shit. Take care of them so they can take care of you.
Yeah.
One hand feeds the fucking other, man.
Because if like you text them and be like, hey, I'm gonna be like 10, 15 minutes late, like, okay, no worries. Cool.
Or you could be the motherfucker who's always fucking late, not helping them out, being a pain in their ass. And then when you're late one day, they're like, hey, why are you late? Oh, well, I'm only 3 minutes late. Yeah, but you're always at least 3 minutes late. Like, come on, man. Like, help them. Like, help me help
one
you
hand
kind of
washes
do.
the other.
It's one of the few times we've actually like had the manager's side on this.
Yeah, we need to get a manager.
We need to get a manager up here. I know a few that I'd like to ask, but I don't know how comfortable they are being on camera. We almost did. Man, they should have came on this show when they had the chance.
Yeah.
They damn sure ain't getting on now, boy. You are. Anyway. But speaking of managers who should have been on this show, one of the things I also cannot stand is when you're at a bar and someone needs to be unnecessarily loud, especially when they're on their phone. Having a conversation with someone who's not in the room, and they're just like, let me be loud as fuck. Like, bro, read the room, man. Like, I don't want to be a part of your conversation, and
bar,
I'm only hearing one side of it.
Just in public
In general.
But specific for this situation. Like,
yeah.
At the bar.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
cannot stand that shit.
I fucking
Cannot
hate
say
that
that.
shit because it's like your friend is at home, the music
Mhm.
is loud, you're having to shout, and now I'm investing in a conversation purely out of like because you're fucking up with my vibe. So now I
Mhm.
want to listen. Now I'm gonna sit there and be like, oh, that's an interesting story. That's whatever you guys are talking like.
Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna like I know I'm not part of it. Like I should mind my own business, but you made
You
your
made me a
business
part of it.
Yeah, you made me a part of it by
I
being super loud.
didn't ask to be here.
Fucking hate that.
You made
Why
me
are
a part
you
of it.
shouting into your fucking phone? Go step outside.
Step outside.
Step outside.
Oh,
Go to the
I
bathroom.
need. I can't take my drink outside. That's why you put a napkin over your drink. I don't know where that got lost in the last 5-10 years, but
Dude,
people don't remember.
There's very few
put a
people
napkin
that
on
do
your
it.
drink, and it lets us know I'll be right back.
And if you're sitting at the bar,
Yeah.
take your stool, tip it over. That
too. I
is
never see that anymore.
I still do it
Never see that
because the people
anymore.
that know, and then if somebody comes up, be like, hey, like you saw a drink was there,
Mhm.
like that. Hopefully that doesn't go away where people will be like, oh, I'm gonna take this seat. It was just there. It was empty, but
I mean, but
I'm glad people
that
still do
falls
it.
on us to
Yeah.
like reinstitute that. Like I said, I'd never see it anymore.
Yeah,
so it's just
lets
not
the
something I think about.
bartender know, like, hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You do that tipping, and if somebody comes sits down, it's our job to be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, somebody's actually sitting there.
Yeah.
You know?
And your bartender, your server, we're there to look out for you.
Mhm.
So if you got to step outside and you're worried that someone's going to put something in your drink, talk to your bartender or server and say, you know, hey man, can you please watch my drink? We'll put the napkin on top if you
Yeah.
haven't already, or you know, someone should, but like we'll cover your drink. We'll watch your drink. We're not
For
going to
sure.
be like watching someone put something in your drink and be like,
No, God,
yeah,
no.
I didn't think they were going to tip anyway, so fuck
God,
them.
no.
Like, bro,
Jesus Christ.
what do you think of us? Like,
Yeah.
it seems like people have this like secondary feeling of we're out to get them, yet they're
No.
coming to us to give them a good time. Make
'Cause
that the math ain't mathing on that.
Because
man.
again, we're still people. Something happens to you that, man, that
I'm gonna
that
feel
would,
some type of way about that, yo.
that
For
would
real.
that would haunt us. That would suck. So
Yeah.
yeah, like we're here for you. So yes, put your napkin over your drink, tip your chair over, or
Yep.
let us know like, hey, I gotta take this call. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And just hand it over. Okay, cool, got you.
Which also helps with you not leaving your drink and then coming back and your drink's been bust off the bar top and you're like, what happened to my drink?
Yeah,
I didn't know you were gonna be back.
yeah. Because
bro.
if you leave it just like that,
Yeah.
and it's like half, maybe less, I'm like, well, been gone for like 10 minutes.
Well, I
Bust.
didn't finish it. Do you know how many people
You never said you
leave
were coming back.
You know how many people leave unfinished drinks at a bar top?
So many.
So many. I just had that happen last night. A guy ordered his drink and then he got a text that his table was ready and he left. He had only taken 2 sips and it was a double. It was like this high. Well, yeah, about like that high. Which means all it was the double, the ice, and like the splash of cranberry. Like just to get him there. He took 2 sips. It was still like, it looked like he didn't even take any.
Jesus Christ.
I felt bad for him, man. You paying like $30 and you don't even get to enjoy your cocktail, man.
Let us know if you're gonna coming back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we see a half empty drink or less than half,
Yeah.
I'm gonna toss it. I'm gonna give it like a minute or two and then fucking toss it because I need to bust this and get ready for the next person that comes through.
Exactly. And also stop talking loud on your fucking phone.
Please.
Although I will say one thing, I've only had it happen once, and this can happen as many times as it needs to fucking happen, whether it's at a bar or anywhere else in my life. Apparently, women have this thing where if they FaceTime each other, some of them will just pull a titty out. I just saw this shit last night at the bar because this woman was like, she forgot she was at the bar. They were calling their friend. I've heard women talk about this shit. Fellas, it's happening. So just keep an eye out. Just keep an eye out. Whole titty just out at the bar. Hey girl, da 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 da. Whole time I'm just like looking like Michael Jackson with the popcorn. Hey titty, how you doing? And at the end,
Oh my God.
at the end, she was like trying to talk to me and the security guard at the same time, which was hilarious. I'll come back to that part. But at the end, like somehow it came up and I was just like, I made a comment about her pulling her titty out. And she's like, how did you even see that? I was like, sweetie, you were standing 6 feet in front of me at the bar top and you just pulled a titty out. Once a titty gets pulled out, everyone knows.
I thought the titty wanted to order a drink.
Yo, deadass. It looked thirsty. Or maybe I did. Like, come on. So if y'all wanna have those kind of conversations at the bar,
fuck.
go ahead. But I'm sure there's a woman out there being like, yo, but fellas, and well, actually, fellas, we're saying the same thing. Don't pull your balls out at the bar.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If there's some weird like frat guy thing where you FaceTime your friend and your balls are out, y'all do that in the privacy
It's
of your
definitely
own
a
home.
frat guy thing, if anything.
Yeah, just don't bring that shit. We don't want that.
That gives
All
college
titties are
frat
welcome.
guys. Yeah.
And even if you're a guy and you're just pulling out a titty, that's fucking fine.
That's
Titties
fine.
is welcome. I don't.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck about a titty pop.
Anything
Like
below,
we give a fuck. We
anything
want to see
below the
titties.
belt,
Nah.
keep it there.
Women too. Nah, yeah. No.
No.
Because then we worried. We're like, what's wrong with you that you would just at the bar? You know? Yeah, everybody wants to see a titty.
Yeah.
Everybody. Titties are the most universally loved thing on this
Yeah.
planet. Yeah. So, yeah. Cool.
That is true.
I didn't have anything else
No,
for that.
no, I mean,
I didn't
that's-
have an out for it. I just wanted to
No,
tell that
that's-
story about a titty being pulled out of the bar. It's not the first time, but it happened so recently. I was just like, I wanted to give that titty a shout out. Wherever you are, just know I'm thinking about you.
How much time we got left?
We should be wrapping it up. We should be wrapping it up.
Okay.
Should be wrapping it up. Yeah.
I think we should end it with this last one here.
Oh yeah, for
Is,
sure, for sure.
And everybody's done this.
Yeah, that's why we have to finish with that one.
Because I've done this, and I actually did this recently, where you talk about making plans when you're on a night out, everyone's having a good time. You talk about like, oh, we should do this and this tomorrow and this and that, and you're like, that sounds like a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow comes and you're suffering the next day. You're like, dude,
Not even tomorrow. Like you can make a plan for a week from now or months from now.
Yeah,
When it
and you're
comes
just
up,
like,
you're
dude,
just
I
like,
fucking
yo.
forgot. Like those drunken commitments. Oh man,
Yeah.
everybody's done them. Everybody does them.
Yeah.
And I apologize for any commitments I made while I was drunk. But
You were talking to a different person.
you were
at that
talking
point.
to a
Yeah.
different person.
Yeah.
And I try to make a point to be like, hey, bring it up to me the next day and see how I feel.
Mm.
I mean, that's me, but a lot of people will be like, yeah, we're gonna go fucking jogging and hike the mountain and this and that. It sounds like I made those commitments. Like, yeah, let's go fucking hiking tomorrow, bro. 10 a.m. Let's fucking go. Fucking 12 o'clock, and it's like,
Wow, you should
still
know
wanna
better
go
than that.
hiking?
You should know better than that. I know you don't wake up before 10.
But I remember specifically shit like that where we're like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna hit the fucking gym, this and blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
10 o'clock, and
Yep.
like, no, I'll go home, take a power nap, drink some water. When I wake up, I'll be good. And wake up, and you're like, dude, you
I shouldn't have said what I said.
you want to go to Cane's, bro? Go to Cane's, go back, like, you want to get a case?
Just pick up where we left off at that point.
Fuck it. Like, let's make new commitments. We're like,
Bro, I'm honestly like,
that's so
let's
many
plan some more shit we're not gonna do.
But it's the thrill of it that makes it so exciting, and I think there's a deeper like thing to that where it's like you connected to this person so much, like, yeah, I would love to do these things with you.
Yeah, you're a drunk dreamer at that point.
Yeah, and it's nice. There's something beautiful about that where you can plan something out with somebody, even though you're never gonna do it. But it's like I felt such a connection with you that we can fucking take over the world when it comes to time to take over the world. Like, hey, let's just chill.
Alcohol will make you think you have a future with someone for sure. Because you'd be like, man, I can see us doing these things together, and then the next day happens, and you don't even remember their name or their number. You know, I got invited to Tijuana last night in October, and I literally looked at them. I'm like, I can't even make plans 2 weeks from now. You know, they're older than me, and they were like, I have to plan things out that far in advance. I was like, yeah, because you got responsibilities. I don't. You got kids. You got this and you got that. But like, yo, don't expect me to be beholden to that. But I've been on the other end of those drunken plans, and it worked out. You know, I ended up going to a wedding in a whole different state 2 years after saying that I'd be there, because the people that were there were like, you're the first person we're inviting to our wedding. You know, I was like, you're only inviting me because you're fucking drunk. And I was like, but I'm gonna show your asses. I'm just gonna pop up at your fucking wedding, and you're gonna have to explain to everybody why I was there. Yo, I did, and it was fun because it was in Minnesota.
God
And there
damn.
were only 2 people my shade, and I was one of those 2. And we spent the first hour refusing to talk to each other because we knew the moment we did, all eyes would be on us, and it happened. It was like 2 ships like rotating around the fucking port. And when we finally like were standing next to each other, we had a conversation. We could see everyone looking like, oh shit, they're talking to each other. Like, yeah. Like, how do y'all know each other? We don't. Someone asked us that. I'm not kidding. Someone asked me and another black man, how did we know each other while we were at a wedding? I was like, we don't. I still don't know his name, but I was like, I don't even know his name.
You know what's funny? Is you're the person that actually said we should go hiking at 10 in the morning. Back in like 2016.
Yeah.
You were the one that actually, that's where that story came from. You were the one that did that. And you know what happened the next day?
Yeah.
We both woke up, walked out of our rooms, and we're like,
nah.
And then I was like, yo, spam and eggs. And you're like, fuck it, I'm down with
Spam and eggs. That's fine. Cool. You came up with a secondary plan. I'm good with that. But
we got spam and eggs.
I am the dumbass who will still get myself up at 10 and like be miserable on the hike. You know what I'm saying? Like I am, what is it? A masochist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will put myself through that. You know what I mean? But I also have grown to the point where I will no longer invite or suggest or even let someone else suggest doing anything physical in the morning, because it's like I know I can. But I don't want the other person to think like, oh man, like we still got to do that because I said so. It's like, nah, man, you're fine.
If there's a small possibility that I'm willing to do something, I don't mind suggesting it or letting some, like you said, letting somebody else suggest it. But if I know there's certain things that I know I'm not gonna fucking do, I'm gonna exit out. If somebody says a hike at 10 a.m. and it's 2:30 and we're still drinking, I'm gonna be like, that sounds like a good time for you guys.
Hey, have a good time,
yeah.
man.
Oh, you don't want to come?
Have a good time.
No, I'm gonna be asleep. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna recover.
And not even just like going out on hikes. There'll be fine. There are times like you'll like, man, I can't even tell you like how many numbers I've gotten or times I've given my number out in the last like 5 years, and they either never hear from me or I never hear from them. It's just like you're talking to them at that moment. Like me, I don't hit people up because I'm like, no, you only gave me your number because you were fucking drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know when you wake up tomorrow, you're not gonna want to remember this. You know what I'm saying? Which is all well and good, but like, if you find yourself in that position a lot, like maybe you should stop asking or giving your number out when you go out. You know,
but to go
male
back,
and female, you know, because I've seen a lot of guys do it, a lot of girls do it. And they're constantly out every night, giving their number out, asking for numbers, taking this person out, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll see them and like none of them look fulfilled. And it's like, you're not fulfilled because you're just trying to fill the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to go back to what I said earlier, like there is something beautiful about feeling so connected to somebody that you're willing to make these extravagant plans. Even if it's just for that moment and you never see them again, it's great because you'll look back on it. Maybe if you can remember, like, oh man, I remember. Yeah, we were supposed to do that. I love that. I love that. Just those small little slivers of moments and memories, and like with other people, and you're just like, yeah, that was a fun night.
Yeah,
never did the thing we were supposed to do, but damn, that was. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, I do too. And even if you're the person on the opposite end and you do think that person wants to hang out with you the next day, don't hold it against them the next day that they change their mind. Like, you know, there's too much negativity thrown on like ghosting. And I don't just mean dating. I mean ghosting on plans and everything. It's like, if someone doesn't want to be there, all right, man, it sucks that they didn't show up or whatever.
Keep it
pushing.
You
know, it'd be nice if they communicated better. That's the one part I have a problem with, when people don't communicate. Like, if you don't want to do something, just say you don't want to do it. Yeah, if you change your mind, just say, hey, I wanted to do it last night. I don't want to do it today. And we can keep it moving. A lot of these hurt feelings can be alleviated by just saying, hey, man, I changed my mind. I've changed my mind.
Got to hit reverse on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all I got.
I think that's it. You know, we don't have anything to hype right now. The stuff that we're working on is like, more behind the scenes stuff. Shout out to Alamo again
Yes.
for last week and
Yes.
for everyone who came last week. I heard earlier today there was a little bit of like some issues with our audio from the episode we released last week. Our apologies on that. As you can see, like we've had the times where there was no video, we've done studio, now we're at home, and we've just been, working out those kinks and trying to get everything towards a well-oiled machine. I feel like this is probably, our best episode so far, as far as like no issues, but we'll fucking see in post. We'll see in post.
Jesus Christ, I hope this is it.
Yeah. But we have a lot of exciting things for the show that we want to do in the following months. So we can't wait to start sharing a lot of that with you. So thank you to everyone who came to the last live show. Hopefully we'll do another one. And yeah, that's all I have. How about you?
Bye.
Peace. You're still recording, motherfucker? Shut the fuck up.